Andy, is the news regarding John Fleck kind of, if you were already aware about it, sort of heightened your, I guess, caution ahead of the Euros that anyone could be tested positive at any time?
Yeah, of course it has. Of course, if you ever need any reminder that this virus is still here, then it's that. Obviously disappointment for Flecky being positive and having to stay in his room. But I suppose the only lucky thing is, the two doctors, Graham Jones, head of performances, followed every protocol, and it means that there's no close contacts, there's no there's no other positive tests from the 3 rounds of testing we've done since then. And in a bad situation, you can take some positives. So we'll take it. Flecky will be obviously ready when he gives a negative test, and luckily it's happened soon enough that he won't miss out in the Euros. But it just means we need to be even more careful the closer it gets. And the boys are already switched on to it, but we just need to be extra careful now and make sure we get no other positive tests.
You and the players have been living under these precautions and restrictions for 15 months. You've been working under them, so you're used to it. How difficult is it to block it out, though, when something like this happens and you've got such a huge event ahead of you?
Look, of course, it's it's something that's always in the back of your mind because as a young, fit, healthy player, Flecky, as far as I'm aware, hasn't shown any symptoms, and it's a tough virus to say you're staying in your room for 10 days when he probably feels quite healthy, but that is this virus, unfortunately. And it doesn't affect some people, but others it can be. We've seen the death total and we've seen how many people have been infected, so it's so important that we take it as serious as we have done, and even heighten that caution even more the closer it gets, because we don't want anyone missing out for something that can hopefully be avoided. When we're in our bubble, it can be, and hopefully we have no more positive tests. Like I said, the 3 rounds of testing since then has been a confidence booster that there's no other positives, but we can't take that for granted. We need to keep going the way we are, and like I said, Flecky will come back into the squad as soon as he's negative, and then hopefully that's us finished for this Euro campaign.
Finally, for me, just wondered how you're coping with camp life, because you're used to seeing these boys for short spells. Are you prepared for weeks upon weeks living alongside them?
Yeah, of course I am. Look, that's the beauty of this. It'll be the longest camp we've ever had, but that's what we were striving towards. We wanted to be in, a major tournament. That's what comes. I'm not sure if John McGinn will run out of stories or not. He's not done it so far. 5 days solid of new stories every day, but let's see how he gets on when it's maybe week 3 or 4. So, we've challenged him for it. So let's see. But look, so far so good. The camp's been excellent. Obviously, apart from the positive test, but we've done it really well. Trained hard. There's been good training, some downtime, and we've got the balance right. But it's all working towards that. The big game on the 14th, and we'll be ready to hit the ground running, hopefully.
Andy, do you feel the excitement kind of building every day in the squad at the moment as you work towards these friendlies and then the start of the tournament?
Of course, I think the day we met up, the excitement was there. You could see everyone. I think it was the reality kicking in that, okay, it's here, it's now. Instead of just talking about it, or instead of, it's in a couple of months or whatever, it's now here. And, it's exciting to be a Scotland player. Once the squad got announced, you knew you were in the squad, and we all meet up. It's an exciting time, and it'll just heighten, it'll get stronger and stronger as the days go on. And the closer you get to that first game, the lads will be ready. And of course, it's exciting for us, but we need to be able to control that throughout the tournament. And hopefully we can put up a good fight, which I believe we will. And if anything, of the last 4 or 5 days have went, the lads are looking well, confident, sharp, and we need to take that into the games that we're playing, starting with the 2 friendlies this week.
Yeah, how beneficial do you think these friendlies are going to be for you all?
Yeah, look, some of the players haven't played in 4 weeks. Some of them haven't played in 2 weeks. the Premier League players have only not played for a week. So we're all at different stages, but it's important to get games together. It's important to work what we're going to do, and playing against one of the favourites for the tournament, Holland, isn't going to be easy, but you want to test yourself against the best, and that's what we're doing. And then on our way home, we stop off to Luxembourg, which will be a different challenge, a tough one, a good team, and it'll be a different challenge in every sense. So 2 good games to have, and then that will get us going and really close to the kick-off against Czech Republic. So really important week coming up, and then we go full steam ahead into the group stages.
This Dutch game particularly important, Andy, given the level of the Dutch. Is this first friendly particularly useful and particularly important given the level of opponent going into the big matches in a few weeks' time?
Yeah, look, the 3 teams that are in our group are incredibly tough games in different ways, and to prepare for them, the Holland game's perfect. A fantastic nation with world-class players, and like I said, we want to test ourselves against the best. So it's a good warm-up game. Hopefully, it's a good warm-up game for them as well, and we can play well. The last 4 or 5 days have been really good, and it's about taking what we've done into training into these games, and if we do that, then I believe we'll get closer to where we need to be for the tournament starting. And like I said, Luxembourg will be a different game for different things, maybe a bit more possession of the ball than we will against Holland, but both really good games to have, and like I said, it will stand us in good stead for the 3 big ones, because everything we're doing just now is working towards the 3 games. Of course it is. The next 2 are friendlies, but the real fun starts the following week.
And how do you feel yourself leading the team in these friendlies as the countdown keeps going and you get ever closer to these huge matches, this huge tournament? Yeah,
look, I've always spoke about it. For me, it's a massive honour being captain of this country, but it's an even bigger honour because I know how good these boys are in terms of off the pitch and on the pitch, and it's an honour to be able to lead them out, and that's always going to be the biggest honour for this squad, because being the captain of the country is good enough, but when you've got so many good boys in this squad, so many good players, but good people as well, then being able to lead them out and walk out in front of them is always a huge honour. And the closer it gets, the more I'll think about it. But being captain in any game for me is a huge honour, and tomorrow will be that against Holland. But obviously when the big tournament's coming in, we've not been there for a long time. You want to be able to be there, but I'll think about that closer to the time.
You talked about John McGinn's stories. Presumably you've told a few about that overhead kick winner that you scored in the football tennis the other day. Have you been boring everyone with that for a wee while?
Yeah, luckily I didn't do my back after it. I was happy I got up in one piece, so I think I got a bit excited in head tennis, but luckily it hit the white line and it was in. But I won't be telling stories about that. I think McGinn trumps me with his overhead kick in the last camp, so he definitely trumps me on that one.
Andy, this will be your first look at David Turnbull and Nathan Patterson up close. What have you made of the 2 new boys to the squad?
Both of them have been excellent. Really good. Off the park as well as on. You could, if you walked into the camp, you would think they've been here for years. Slotted in really well. David's obviously got the Celtic boys to kind of fall back on, and maybe a wee bit easier way in, but he's been talking to the other lads and been joining in, and Nathan, he's a confident lad. He's been talking away, getting to know the boys. We've been getting to know him, so both of them have settled in really well. We couldn't ask for much better, and in training they've both been excellent. So really good, really positive. Let's see if they get game time tomorrow. But both of them are, fantastic players. Still got a huge career ahead of them. But at the age of that and the clubs they're playing for, they're doing not too bad. And you can tell that both of them playing full of confidence. No fear, and that's exactly what we need in this squad. And both of them have been, a credit to themselves so far.
Andy, we waited over a decade to get a Scottish player winning the European Cup, then 2 come along at once. How will Billy Gilmour be feeling?
I hope he's on top of the world. You know, I hope he is. What he's achieved is incredible, especially for, you know, at a young age. You know, Billy's got, like the other two, he'll have a huge career ahead of him. You know, Billy's a fantastic footballer. I've spoke to him a couple of times as well off the park, and you know, he's a really, really good guy, and you can tell he plays with confidence on the park. And like I said, similar to the other two, no fear, confidence on the park, being able to take the ball in tight situations, and you know, these are the players that you want about having the squad. So I think we'll get him over in Portugal, as far as I'm aware. So we'll meet him, and you know, I think he'll settle into the squad so easily. I don't think he'll have any problems, and obviously we get Scotty over there as well, who's, you know, not had the week that he would have wanted. Obviously, you know, he would have loved to have won the Europa League, and but you know, he'll be ready to go. I thought he was the best player in the park in the Europa League final, and if he brings that, you know, play into the Scotland top, then you know, I'm sure they'll put another man in match performances. So two really good players meeting up tonight, I think, and you know, obviously Scotty's been about, and you know, he doesn't need to settle in, but I don't think it will take long for Billy to you know, show his character in this squad.
Andy, have you been able to meet up with any? Have you been able to contact any of your?
Andy, you mentioned how easy it has been for the.
Sorry, could we just have one person speaking at a time?
Sorry.
Yeah, Andy, I was just asking. It was so you're saying it was easy for the younger players to settle into the squad. The man.
Sorry, I'm not sure who's talking, but the audio's dropped there. Your connection isn't good.
There's tennis courts, you know. I mean, things are so.
Didn't catch any.
Sorry, Jordan, we didn't catch any of that question there. The audio completely dropped. Does anybody else want to ask one final question?
Just one quickly, Andy. Have you been in touch with any of your Liverpool teammates, Trent, Jordan, Gini Wijnaldum, or any of the others, or is that now off limits?
I'm not sure it's off limits yet. Spoke to Hendo last night. You know, I think they're at the hotel that you know, that we are going to be staying at for camp. So I was just telling him to make sure he doesn't mess up my room. So, but there'll come a time when I'm sure he'll lock off from my nonsense, and I'll lock off from him. But you know, I don't think just now. You know, I'm obviously, you know, close to these players. You know, really, we're a tight-knit group at Liverpool, and you know, they're really good friends. It'll obviously be good to catch up with Gini tomorrow with him, you know, leaving the club, and it'll be good to, you know, say a kind of final goodbye. Obviously keep in touch, but you know, in person, and then, you know, of course, when the tournament starts, then it's, you know, it's game time and it's focus on every game. But you know, when you cross the white lines, of course, there's no friends. Look, we always say that, but after the game and before the game, these people I've achieved a lot with, and I've got, you know, a lot of thanking to do to some of them. And you know, when you're friends, then you'll always stay friends. But when it's on the pitch, it's you know, that gets put to one side for 90 minutes.